This class is going to be all things spinal related. So, well, the entire practice of yoga is very holistic and it includes the entire body, but I like to just break things down and focus on each particular thing. So this one will be mostly about flexion, or extension, I should say. Flexion, going that way. Rotating or twisting to each side, and then also side bending as well. So in everything around the spine. We will get started. Let's actually get started hands and knees. So shoulders right over the wrists, hips over the knees. You can either tuck or untuck your toes, that's up to you. And then begin to drop your belly, lift your sit bones up, pull your shoulders back towards your hips, keep your arms straight, and then try to lift your gaze slightly here. So nice deep extension. Inhale here. Push your hands to the floor. Keep pushing your hands as you exhale, and you'll do the opposite. Tuck your tailbone a lot. Separate your shoulder blades apart. Try to push your hands through the floor, and then begin to move your forehead towards your pubic bone, and your pubic bone towards your forehead. So you're finding as much doming shape as you can. Flexion. And then inhale, find the extension. Really common here is people want to bend the elbows, but try to keep them straight. Exhale, round. Round as best as you can. And as you go through these, so you're moving with your breath, you're finding this arching and rounding. See if you can lengthen through every vertebrae and then find the arch. And then as you inhale, lengthen and find the bend. Nice. You can amplify this a little bit by tucking the toes under. So we'll find the inhale. And then as you exhale and you round, as best as you can, push your hands through the floor, hover the knees about an inch. And you're still moving your pubic bone towards your forehead. Tuck your tailbone a lot. Your core will be switched on. And then lower the knees down. Just do that one more time. Inhale. Exhale. So your knees are hovering, and then step your feet forward. Feet can be hip distance apart. Really deep bend into the knees, just dangle here. And then see if you can lean more weight in towards your toes. Take your hands behind your head, and it's like you're stretching the skin on the back of the neck closer down towards the floor. A bit of a release here. We often, when we're into a forward fold and down dog, if we're feeling particularly tight, we tend to like tense up into the neck here. So it's really good to just let it all go and drop the shoulders and the neck here. Now bend your knees a lot. Roll up to standing. Nice. And then when you get here, reach your arms all the way up, shift your pelvis forward, and try to lift from right between the shoulder blades, right from the back of the heart up. So you find this extension and lean back from the upper back rather than dumping here. So it's length, extend, just like you're trying to jump over one of those high jump bars, and you're like, ooh. Lift up, find that little back bend, and then hands to the back of the head. Lean your head back even more, breathe in. And then as you exhale, bring your head up, tuck your chin to your chest, draw your elbows in, bend your knees a lot, and place your elbows right over top of your knees here. You're really tucking your chin to your chest. And then from here, you can try to straighten your legs. This is really inwards, a lot of rounding. Don't worry about if you can straighten or not. Keep your elbows onto your knees and then come up into like a little imaginary chair. And then sit all the way back down. Come onto your back, reaching your arms overhead. So have your feet kind of close-ish in towards your butt. And we'll find some dynamic bridge pose. So arms extend up. As you pick up your pelvis, find this motion of lengthening the low back. So it's like you're trying to move your tailbone towards the backs of the knees. Lift up, lift up, lift up. So all the weight is into your heels. Your arms are overhead. You don't really need to reach up as high as you go. We'll just move in and out. So breathe in here. And then as you exhale, your arms will come down and your butt will come down. And move with your breath, just like we did in cat and cow. Inhale up. Exhale down. Another thing here is try not to splay the knees out as you come up. Keep them tractioning forward. Almost like you're dropping your inner thighs downwards towards the floor. And then really anchoring down into the heels. Lower down. Inhale up. And now this time, bring your arms down. Keep your hips lifted. Interlace your hands underneath you. Snuggle the shoulder blades in. Come up onto your tippy toes now. And you'll feel your butt muscles turn on. Lift as high as you can. And then release your hands. Lower. Keep your heels lifted. Lower all the way down. And then just lower your heels last. Nice. So bring your hands to the backs of your knees. Rock and roll a couple of times. And we'll find some more back bends onto our belly here. So plant your hands. Come onto your belly. And just wiggle the hips from side to side to release any kind of tension around here. First one, fingertips over to the side, elbows straight up. And you can take your feet out a little bit wider as well here. I kind of prefer that to straight because it just is a little bit more forgiving on the low back. Anchor down through your pubic bone and then push into your fingertips, lift up. So nice. So try to move the shoulders away from the ears. And it's like you're slingshotting the back of your heart forward. And think of like nails on a chalkboard. You're drawing back, lifting up. And you can look over one shoulder, let your right shoulder towards your heels, come back up through center, breathe in. To the other shoulder. Breathe in. Let's go one more time. Nice deep opening into the back. Come back to center and then go down. Nice. Take your hands, interlace them at the low back. Squeeze the shoulder blades together. Take your pubic bone down. And then try to lift your knuckles off of your sacrum. Stretch your knuckles towards your back feet. Push the tops of your feet down. And then begin to lift your feet up here. So this is more of a back body strengthener than it is using any leverage to open up into a back bend. Take one more breath in. And then release. Bend into your knees. And grab hold of the insides of the feet. Try to resist the urge to splay the knees out so your knees are tractioning straight away, and then move your feet towards the back wall behind you. So you're pulling your shoulders. This is more of a shoulder opener here. I like this one because it works the external rotation of the shoulders. This one also works grabbing the outside edges of the feet. That's good too. Take one more inhale. So you are into a nice back bend. Release. And then come into a wide knee child's pose. So your toes are touching, your knees are wide. Settle in, stretch all those muscles out. And then go ahead and come forward. Tuck the toes under. Cup the heels. We've done this in the other video. Cup the heels with the hands. And then roll the shoulders open here. So think that high jump bar is right underneath you. Or if somebody had like a strap or a bar right underneath and they were kind of pulling up right there. And then lift your butt up off of your heels. Really lift the chest up. Shoot your pelvis forward. You can look straight up here. Now, if that was not a good way to come into that position, you're like, no, then you can come up as well. Place one hand to the heel, one arm reach it up and over. So it's a bit like a side bend. And then you can rotate into this back bend here and really lean back. If you want, you can even rest your head into your hand. And then to come out of it, you just look down back towards your heel and then all the way back to the other side. So left hand over left heel, sweep the right arm forward up, start to rotate the chest up, and if you'd like to, if you want to take a bit of pressure off of the back of the neck or that trying to hold, using your neck muscles to hold your head up, you can drop your head into your hands and give yourself a little cradle there. And then to come out, you look down and come back out. Nice. Cross your shins and straighten through the left leg, put the right foot over top. It's really good to do some twists after some back bend just to neutralize the spine. So you can either keep the leg straight, hug it in like that. If you want to compact in a little bit more, you can always bend that straight leg, that right knee. Make sure both sit bones are on the floor and the whole right foot is on the floor. This might be a lot into the hips as well. You can sit onto a cushion as well. Clasp or give your right knee a hug with your left hand and then spin, go behind you. So rotation here. Try to put more of the sole of your right foot on the floor. And if you want to even go a little bit deeper, you can extend the left arm up, hook the elbow, and then it's just kind of like this wringing out sensation. You can place the hand down beside your hip, look back, and then even roll open through that right shoulder behind you. Breathe. And then come forward, unravel. Lean back to swap sides, so either straight right leg or bending it in. I'm going to just do straight leg on this side so you can see. Hug the knee with the right arm, left knee, right arm. Swing the other arm behind you. You can lean back a little bit here, but I always like to magnetize my arm towards my spine and then come up high up one of the fingertips. And that helps to really lean forward and lift up rather than lean back like that. So stay there with the hug or extend the right arm up, hook it, and then open through the other shoulder. I'm actually going to bend that guy. Feels better for me. If you've got any good popping in the spine, that's awesome. And then roll yourself forward. Bring your heels onto the floor and sit up nice and tall. So this low back comes in and up here. And then lift up through the whole front of the body as best as you can. Draw the shoulders back and then place your rib cage onto your thighs. Grab hold of the outer edges of the feet. And you can take the feet in or wide, it's up to you. I'm going to take them in. So pull on the outer edges of your feet and push your big toe mounds forwards. And then start to rest your face in between your knees or your shins. And really just drop the head and the shoulders and the neck and everything. If you want to go a little bit deeper, you can slide your butt back or move your feet forward, whatever one's easiest for you. And try to keep this compression. So rather than straightening and just losing that situation, try to keep the compression of rib cage onto your thighs. Don't even worry about if your legs straighten or not. So you can drop your elbows to the outsides. Keep your face in your shins. So you might not feel this in your hamstrings, or you might feel it a lot, but more so I want you in thinking about the spinal flexion here. As you straighten the legs a little bit more, try to lower your elbows first towards the mat. And if you can straighten all the way, that's cool, but still, same thing. Keep your rib cage onto your thighs, getting in a lot deeper like that. Take one more breath in and out here. And then slowly come up. And I'll just pivot towards the camera. I'll take the right foot in. So it's a bit like a cross-legged position, but just with the left leg out. And then reach out through the heel. Curl the toes back towards you. And then just twisting over towards that right leg. Twist it over, just a gentle twist. Lift the chest, draw the shoulders back. And you'll slide the elbow to the inside of the right knee. And you can place the hand onto the floor here. Top hand can come towards the hip. Don't forget about the activation of that left leg. So flex through the foot. Take the right arm up. You can lean it back a little bit to open the chest, find some rotation, and then top arm can reach up and overhead. Nice. You can always just bring the arm over top of the head, even like rest your head into your arm, and so you don't have to use as many neck muscles, or even the bottom arm. Sometimes I like to rest the head down. Now this is quite deep through the side line here. If you want to go in deeper, you can always try to hook the shoulder in front of the knee and place the hand on the opposite and then reach for the foot. The common tendency is to roll forward. So it's a side bend and a rotation. Yeah? And if you're upright, everybody is, whatever degree of the pose, you're still finding the same sensation. Just some people might need to go in a little bit deeper, but that's not necessarily the correct shape of the pose. It's about finding the sensation, working with wherever you're at. That's a really important part of yoga. Come all the way back up. Place your right hand down beside you, and then come onto the sole of the left foot and stretch through the left arm. I like to kickstand this right foot out behind here. So you kind of have your foot and your knee in line with each other. You can even take this into a back bend by leaning back, leaning back, leaning back. Nice and juicy. And then come all the way up. Let's lift the toes up. Reach the right arm up. And then slide your left hand down your left leg. Another side bend, just from a different angle. You can even bend into that knee. Take the elbow to the inside of the knee and reach up and over like that as well here. Maybe look upwards, draw the top shoulder back. Cool. And then up. So let's pivot forward so we're back into this lunge. Take hold of your back heel. So just like camel pose before. Reach the top left arm back and then start to rotate the chest up. And you can begin to sink forward into that front knee. So it's a bit like a lunge and a back bend at the same time. And it's like a choose your own adventure. Go in as deep as you'd like. Move the tailbone towards the front heel. And you can rest your head back in your hand here. Take an inhale. And then unravel. Come back down to the floor. So left foot comes in, right leg straightens out. And then turn, spin, rotate to the side. Take a breath in, get really long. Elbow to the inside of the knee. And then top arm comes up. Really reach out through the right heel and curl your toes back towards you. Choose if you want to stay upright, lean the arm back, work on that rotation as well. Or if you want to keep extending up and over, you can rest. You can rest the bottom hand. All these variations here. So you're getting into this side of the left side of your body, wherever you land. Yeah? If you're going in deeper, you lean forward, snuggle in more so your shoulder comes forward. Place your right hand on your left leg and then reach over without collapsing inwards. Still try to find the rolling open. Now this is quite deep in there. So you still want to breathe wherever you are. And all this kind of agitation that comes up into the side body, you use your breath to smooth out the agitation. Use the intuition, connect to that source inside that tells you if you just need to back off a little bit or go in deeper a little bit. Just have a little feel and a listen. On your inhale, we'll come all the way back up. Place your left hand down beside you, behind. Come onto the sole of the right foot and then onto the shin, pick your hips up, and you can really lean back into a nice big back bend here. Maybe even rest your head into your hands, extend through the elbow. And then kickstand your left foot out so it's just behind you. Come all the way up. Right toes lift, left arm reaches right from knee up to armpit, up through every finger so you're awake, alive. Curls, toes curling in, breathe in. And then slide down, but still find this rolling open. Notice if you're sticking your butt out, try to undo that. Little zip it in and just moving into the stretch. So take the back bend out of this position. Shoulder rolls open. And then you can bend as well. Hook the elbow to the inside. Same thing. Reach it up and over. Maybe go in a little deeper or not. And then come all the way up. Spin towards the right leg. Back toes tuck under. And then cup the heel with the left hand. Left heel, left hand. Right arm reaches up. Take an inhale. And then settle down. So as you settle down, try to roll the bottom shoulder open. Shoot your tailbone towards the front heel. And from the back body, lift up. And you can take your head into your hand. You can bring your fingers onto the floor if you want to go in a little bit deeper. So really settle in and deepen, or, come back and play with the stages of getting into it. The flexibility is a journey. So, I've been practicing for 15 years. And if you're just starting out now, it's something that takes dedication almost daily. Come out of that position and let's see what we've got here. That's basically it. It's all the things I wrote down for you. So extending backwards, folding forwards, rotating, and into the side. That's all the movements of the spine there. So hopefully you feel a bit more fluid and free around that area. Thank you for joining me.